Corey, you know, we've been talking about this all morning. It might have a 3D camera. Why, I'm not sure. It'll probably have some sort of app that helps you go to Amazon Prime. That much I understand. But, you know, what's the excitement here?
Well, first of all, it's Amazon doing something in a new market. So, you know, Amazon's a dominant retailer in the U.S., and the notion that they're going to but it's a dominant retailer that grew up on the desktop. So as we've increasingly moved towards mobile, as computing's gone mobile, there is a threat there. There's the opportunity for someone else to come into the computing arena and be in the place where people make purchases, make decisions, and do a lot more on mobile than they do on the desktop. And so Amazon trying to get in front of that with a phone, likely, that's what we expect them to announce here in probably about four hours here. And because, as you may have noticed, Adam, it's kind of dark here in the West Coast.
Yeah, they got you up very early. You know, here's the thing, though, Corey. I mean, if you look at, you know, the market share, it's so concentrated. Android's like 80%. If you want to just look at Samsung and Apple, that's like 3/4 of the phones here in the U.S. So why not just create an app and put an Amazon Prime app across all those other phones rather than worry about the hardware?
Well, they've certainly done that, and Amazon has really tried to put themselves between other retailers. So they've got an app, for example, that on Android and iPhone and others, where you can actually, you know, go out into a retail location, scan a barcode, see if you can get a lower price, even order the device from your phone. But that's had limited success. I think likely the notion here, and again, we're going to find out more about this when they actually make this announcement here in a few hours, likely their notion is not just to drive sales of a phone. And indeed, Amazon's willing to accept, Amazon might be the only business in the world that's willing to accept lower margins than the cell phone makers, which have, of course, terrible margins.
Right.
But here Amazon might have the opportunity to have a device that works in a retail location to make the shopping happen on Amazon and really be with the consumer at all times. What we also expect out of this device, it'll be very different than other phones we've seen out there, using new technologies that we haven't seen.
Yeah.
Amazon has a skunkworks project within their headquarters in the South Lake Union neighborhood here, near here off Lake Washington in Seattle, where they're developing all kinds of new stuff, such as the Kindle, such as the Amazon Fire HD television box. They're going to try something new. If it doesn't work, they'll move on. That's kind of the Amazon style.
Well, they'll move on. But, Corey, I wonder, as you talk to Silicon Valley executives, venture capitalists, everyone else that you make up the Bloomberg West team with, are they excited about this Amazon device? Are they curious about it? Are they fearful of it?
I think curious is probably the right word. I mean, Amazon's a monster in retailing, but it occupies its own sort of space here in Silicon Valley. I mean, I really think of, you know, we've entered an age where technology and technology companies are important to the broader economy and important, you know, Amazon's more important to, let's call it Walmart than it is important to, say, Apple, I think, in terms of competitive threats. It's a dominant retailer, and the things that they do to get consumers shopping there is taking consumers away from something somewhere else. I think it's about dominating existing markets more than it is about creating new ones.
All right, Corey Johnson, it's 4:30 out in Seattle. Go get yourself a cup of coffee, and we'll be watching for the unveil coming up in a couple hours.
There's a lot of coffee here, Adam.
Oh, yes.
There's coffee everywhere.
Oh, that's what I hear.